Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another topic related to HTML form, where we will explore few more types of input tag with their example. Okay, so if you are following the series, then you might know that yes, in previous session also we discussed the types of input tag, right? So this session is in the continuation of the same, where we are going to talk more about two more input type, which is range and checkbox. Both types are very important in terms of project perspective, because there are various website you will see that are using this range input field as well as the checkbox input field. Okay, so to explain the session in a easier way, what we will do, like I'll explain you the code in a simpler way. Like we will write from scratch, we'll try to understand each and every line of the code, and also we'll see the output. Okay, but before we start the session, I would like to recommend you to follow the ongoing topic first, means the ongoing playlist first, because the all the session of this playlist are connected with each other. Okay, so if you follow them sequentially, then it would be really very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic. Okay, so fine, I think now we are good to start with the session. Here you can see we are using the basic HTML code, with just some comment which is denoting the presenter name, topic name, and one note, right? And then you can see this one heading tag is there, which is showing HTML by texture. Now I'll just save this code and refresh my browser, and you will see that it is showing me this output on a screen, HTML by texture method. Clear? Fine. Now it's time to start with the session. So as we are going to talk about two types of input tag in terms of HTML forms. Let me clear one thing here. You can utilize input tag outside of forms as well. Okay. It is not mandatory that we have to utilize it always in a forms. Okay. So make it very clear. Fine. All right. So now as we are talking about the forms, in terms of form, so firstly we need to specify the form here. So let's declare the form. Simply write form tag, then close it, and you will see that form block is added. Now what we are going to do, we are going to assign some action to it. So just write here action, and in action you can specify the page where you want to navigate on after clicking on submit. Okay, so here I will write TCS PGM10. So whenever user submit the form, this form, it will redirect to it will redirect to page TSPGM10, which we have already created in one of our previous session. But you can utilize any page, okay, wherever you want to move. So once the user click on submit, it will collect all the data from screen and move it to this page TSPGM10. Clear? Fine. So let me add one heading as well, just to give you the clarity on the topic. So let's add one heading here with h2. Here I will write types of input tag in HTML form. Okay, so we have just mentioned types of input tag in HTML form. Then we have form action tspgm10.html, which is nothing but a navigation page that we have specified in action. All right, so it's time to add the first type of tag which we are going to discuss is range. So let me add heading for it. So range, this is just for the heading. Okay, it is not mandatory that you have to write everything in a heading, but just to show you properly in output, I'm using headings. So here I will write range input field in HTML. Okay, fine, in HTML form. All right, so now what we are going to do, we are going to utilize this, but before that let me show you the so far output. So you can see three headings is there. First heading is the main title, HTML by text method. Then we have types of input tag in HTML form, and then we have range input field in HTML form. Okay, so let's add the input here. So input type, and in input type we will simply mention the type first. Okay, so just simply write here type. Here we will mention range, and then we are supposed to write name. So type we have mentioned range, that means it will okay, let me show you till now. So here we will write maybe a ranking, save it and refresh it, so you can see it is coming like this. But few more thing we are supposed to assign here. So what we did so far, like we have initialized a type as range and name as ranking. So whenever you want to access this variable, this variable value, you will use this name. Okay, although we are going to talk about only the front end part, so that thing maybe we will talk on later, but yes, it is very important to assign name to each and every input type. Okay, fine. Other thing that we are supposed to pass here is min and maximum value, means minimum and maximum value. So just mention min as 0 and max as 10. Okay, so by doing this, what we have instructed input tag that please start the minimum value with 0 and the maximum value would be 10 only. Okay, so we have just provided a way for user to submit the values as per their need, but it should lie between 0 and 10. So if I do save, Control S and refresh my browser, you will see the slider is here. Now let's say if I go with, I just reduce it to minimum, and okay, let's add one submit button as well so that we can see the output. Okay, so here I will write button, and here we'll write submit, and in this button we will mention type as submit. Clear? Now save it and refresh it. So here if I select this like this and submit, once I click on submit, you can see I have navigated to the next page which we have specified in TSPGM 10. Okay, and the ranking is coming as 0, which means we have provided the minimum value. Likewise, if I select the maximum value, ranking is 10. If I select somewhere in between, for example this and submit, so the value is 6. Okay, so this is how we can set the value for our slider. And one more good thing is that you can operate it with the help of page up, page down as well. So let's say if I count from here 0, then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. Clear? So for example, if I want to go with 8, I can select 8 and click on submit, so it will show ranking is 8. Okay, so this is how we can utilize the range type input field in HTML form. Again, I'm repeating, you can use it outside the form as well. So this is not only fixed that we have to use it only in the uh, form. You can use it outside the form as well. Clear? So this is the one thing which I wanted to show you here. Now the next tag we will add, but before that let me add br tag here just to give a line break. So if I save and refresh, yeah, now it looks good. Fine, so let's add another tag, I would say, for heading, which is h3. And now we are going to talk about the checkbox tag. So here I will add checkbox input field in HTML. Instead of form, maybe we can write HTML only. Okay, fine. So let me save it and refresh it. So you can see checkbox input field in HTML. We have just added the heading. Now we will add the input tag. So for input tag, you can simply write input, and remember, always remember one thing: input tag, there is no closing tag is required for input tag. Okay, it is self-closing. Now here we will specify the type. So let me specify the type as uh, for this we will mention it as checkbox. Okay, and name we will mention as email. Okay, fine. Now just save it and refresh your browser, so you will see a small checkbox has been added to a web page. Okay, okay, so one thing I want to ask, like do you want email updates? You can write something like this and then save it and refresh it. So now you can see the text is coming like this here: do you want email updates, and then this option. So if user really wants to get email update, he can select on this and then click on submit. So if it is selected and user submit, it will show email is on and ranking is 5, because the by default value of ranking is 5 and email is on. That means user has selected that checkbox. If it is non-selected and if user submit it, it will not show anything related to email. So this is the advantage of using checkbox. Like if you want to submit it, you can simply click here. If you want to select it, you can select it and then you can click on submit. Okay. Here just to show you the text, I use this way, like I am writing in this way, but it is up to you. Like if you want to customize it, you can customize it. Otherwise, but mainly we are focusing on this input types. So today in this session we have discussed two types of input. One is range input field and second one is checkbox input field. So I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.